Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that was requested: signs to know your relationship is becoming secure, regardless of your attachment style. It is very beneficial that your relationship is starting to lean a little bit more secure because, based on research, secure relationships tend to last longer, have lower divorce rates, and have heightened sense of fulfillment for both individuals. And so, most people who are in relationships want that. And so being secure is a great way to lean into that perspective. The first one is open and honest communication. Now, I'm going to explain this because it doesn't mean you have to communicate everything. And if you don't say everything, you're dishonest. Absolutely not. Every relationship is different, but all that it really means is you guys can both of you can start talking about your feelings, fears, and needs without the other individual casting so much judgment or anger upon you. And you don't feel judgment or anger upon yourself. And it takes some time to get to this point, and both individuals need to work on this. But once you guys start getting there, not only are you guys becoming secure from an attachment perspective, you're also being secure in terms of actually the relationship, like you feeling safe within the relationship. Overall, conflicts are handled more calmly and constructively, and you are able to let things go more readily for the focus and harmony of the relationship in a way that's not building resentment. So that's what I mean by open communication. And we're going to touch on a little bit more of these points in detail throughout the video, but I think that's a good way to look at it as a starting point. The next one is trust and reliability. Both of you try your best. Try your best is the key to be reliable and trustworthy, because the truth of the matter is nobody is perfect, and being 100% reliable or trustworthy is just not possible because it's based on perspective. And so if you are trying your best and your partner is trying your best and you both feel that overall that's good enough and that's reliable to build the relationship forward and continue to have a healthy relationship, that is really a good foundation of a secure relationship. The next one is emotional safety. This one is tricky because even people who are secure can struggle with this throughout their relationship and marriage. And so it's not about feeling this way all the time, but it's feeling that way overall, okay? That you feel comfortable overall being vulnerable, showing your true self, and sharing your insecurities. There is no constant fear of rejection or abandonment. It can happen sometimes, but it's not constant. And I want to stop on this point and kind of extract some pieces of this. Showing your true self is one of the most fundamental aspects to a relationship. And what do I mean by that? And how does it relate to relationships? An example could be something that you feel other people may reject you for whatever reason, but your partner might be more on board with that. And I'm not going to use a harsh example. I'm going to use a specific example, and I'm going to use one from my own relationship. I am a very timely person, and so this can rub some people the wrong way. Why this is on my mind is because some people in my field that I work with are not as timely as me. And that is something that can be pretty annoying on my side. And they don't see it like that at all. So example could be if I have a meeting with a colleague and she scheduled it as 1 p.m. and she shows up at like 1:20. And then the meeting is scheduled to be done at 2 p.m. And she's like, and I have a patient after her. And then she might say, oh, can we go for 20 more minutes after this, considering I showed up late? To me, that's like, I understand she didn't mean it like that, but like, that's so disrespectful to me because I scheduled my time. We're having this 1 hour meeting and then I have a session after you. I'm not going to stay 20 minutes after and leave my patient hanging. And she is, for example, this person is a person who doesn't mind showing up late for her patients. And I don't like that at all. And she admits that. Like I always tell my patients, if you don't want a therapist who's late, don't see me. For her, she's like, that's a very chill thing. But to me, that's like so annoying. And paperwork, if I need papers from her, she'll say, hey, I'll get it to you by Monday. And it'll be Thursday and I still haven't heard from her. These types of things are like, that rubs me the wrong way. And I try my best to just not be too involved with people like that. I'm being honest. People might judge me for that, but it's true. And that is my true, genuine self. And I have friendships that are not timely, and that's okay, right? But I cannot, for me personally, I really can't be in a relationship with somebody who is not similar. And if they think that that's an annoying trait I have, I can't be with them. And my significant other is equally as timely. which is very reassuring to me. And that's my true self that people will reject. Not like they hate me, but they just can't get on board with that because that's not them. That's too much for them. And to me, I get that. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm glad to know I'm my significant other's cup of tea is all I'm saying. And I want you guys to have something like that as well. That's what I mean by showing your true self and emotional safety. I'm not saying you're allowed to hit your partner or yell at them. I'm not saying that. I'm saying things about you that some people don't like for just regular reasons, but it's part of who you are. If your partner can accept that, that builds emotional safety. The next one is mutual support, that you guys do support each other's goals, dreams, and personal growth to some extent. You guys can discuss these stressors outside of the relationship and come up with solutions together, okay? Very, very helpful. I'll give another example based on the paperwork issue I was talking about. When I bring this stuff up to my significant other, he's upset. He's kind of like, why are you letting someone not give the paperwork? And I mentioned, like, I can't control this. This is on somebody else's papers, whatever it is. And he's supportive. Like, I get that. That is frustrating. I would be frustrated too. And then he might say, like, what do you want? Is there something you want me to do? Of course, no, I don't need him to intervene. But these types of things, just for me, my personal thing, that makes me feel supported just hearing that it is something that he also can relate to. That's support for me. Not everybody needs that type of support. Some people need support like bringing them soup or whatever when they're sick. That's like my significant other. For him, he got sick after a Christmas break. He lives in the state I'm in, but he originally comes from the Midwest. So he traveled to the Midwest for Christmas. And when he came back, he was sick. And I made him soup. And I made him like little dinner rolls and all, just that's how I like to take care of people. And I don't when people do that to me, I don't like that. I know it's weird. I don't want to get into that. But he likes that. When he's sick or when he's like hurt, he needs that like attention. And I'm okay with that. I have no issue with that. That is what he thinks is support. For me, I need support. Like I need to constructively have a conversation about stressors, which some people don't like. I'm like that. That might be annoying to some people. And everyone's support is different. But mutual support in relationships is incredibly, incredibly important. He likes me making him soup and sitting next to him and watching TV when he's sick. That's how he feels support. I need support like discussing these stressors. And everyone's different. The next one is consistent effort. Both individuals try to invest in time and energy into nurturing the relationship. Small acts of care and attention is more regular than irregular. The next one is healthy boundaries, that you respect each other's individuality and personal space. The next one is getting more comfortable with intimacy. This one can be challenging if you guys are both avoidant. But in general, getting more comfortable holding hands, hugging, kissing, cuddling, being intimate in the bedroom, getting more closer to that is a sign you're becoming more secure. The next one is conflict resolution skills, being able to apologize, forgive, compromise effectively, and move on. The next one is discussed future visions, being able to discuss the future naturally, whether it be a week from now, whether it be a month, whether it be a year. There's some conversation about having some discussion long-term wise. And the last one is acceptance, that you guys are able to accept imperfections. That doesn't mean you accept mistreatment, imperfections, that you're able to understand the way the other person is. And you don't want to change every little thing about them. Let's summarize and then we can wrap it up. The first one is open and honest communication, trust and reliability. Third is emotional safety. Fourth is mutual support. Fifth is consistent effort. Sixth is healthy boundaries. The next one is comfortable with intimacy, getting there. Eighth is conflict resolution skills. The next one is discussed future vision. And the last one is acceptance. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.